from the Republican from the year 2005. Striving to reach his goal at Candlepin. It appeared to be staring at a half Worcester. At least I think that's what it's called. In general terms, a half Worcester is what's left when you have thrown a bowling ball right down the middle of the alley and are thinking strike, only to find that you've punched out 2 measly pins. Whether or not this was better than a full Worcester was beyond me, though, having gone to college in Worcester, I have a lingering fondness for the place, which I can't explain to most people. I was at Canal Bowling in Southampton, and my purpose that day was to break 100 on the Candlepins. I had made it my goal to accomplish this feat before I turned 50, but failed. Thereupon, I adjusted my expectations, making it my goal to do it before I die. Candlepin bowling is a passion unique to the Northeast. According to Joan Yamelkowski, who owns Canal, the sport was invented somewhere near Boston in 1881 and never made it beyond Quebec. It is not to be confused with 10-pin, which has bigger balls and duck-shaped pins. But as any bowler will tell you, there are profound existential differences as well. With 10-pin, there's instant gratification. Keep the ball out of the gutters, and you're guaranteed to knock down 7 or 8 pins. Candlepin can be a study in frustration. Miss the head pin by an inch, and you get a half Worcester. A perfect 300 is not all that rare in 10-pin. The world's record for Candlepin, set in Westfield, is 245. In 21 years, Yamelkowski has seen but 5 bowlers break 205 on her lanes. There's a lot more strategy to this game, she said, and a lot more swearing. Like many in Massachusetts, I grew up watching Candlepin bowling on TV. None of the bowlers I saw appeared to use the cream or the clear. I imagined that when they weren't on the lanes, they were driving bread trucks or fixing brake lines or cutting hair. My memory is hazy on this, but they might have even smoked while they bowled. There's no smoking at Canal now, but it has all the trappings of the classic Candlepin alley. The shoes are suede, the pencils are sharpened, and the carpets are redolent of 1,000 Saturday nights. Actually, Canal has seen more than 2,000 Saturday nights since Yamelkowski's father, Paul Canton, built the place in 1961. Yamelkowski and her late husband, Chester, took it over in 1984. Someday it will fall to her son to clear the occasional logjam. While 10-pin alleys can have the glitz of a video arcade, Candlepin is relatively low-tech. You keep your own score, for example. When you turn in your sheet, the folks at Canal ask if you want to keep it. My son still has the one where he beat me. I was hoping today would be the day I kept mine. I mentioned my quest to my mother that morning. I bowled a 103 once, she said. I took my daughter, who has bowled Candlepins all of 5 times, figuring that maybe I'd at least beat her. In the next alley, there was a 300-pound guy throwing rockets, pins exploding everywhere. Ignoring him, I put everything into my first string. I got 8s, 9s, a strike. As often happens, it all came down to one ball. I let it fly. It clipped the 7-pin. I bowled a 93. My daughter looked at me mournfully. "Maybe you'll do it before you're 60, she said. Footnote. I went back the next week alone. With my mojo working overtime, I bowled a mind-numbing 123. When I showed my score to Yamelkowski, she shook my hand. The score sheet is on my bureau.